Hello everyone! Yes, it is a Rebel AI cEDH video in the Year of Our Lord 2024. Yep. Today what we have is yet another Thrasios deck, and the reason why we're doing this is because over the weekend I was super inspired to make a Nadu deck for some reason, and this is how we're here. So as you can see, the name over here is called I Love Breakfast. It has Nadu, it's got Hermit Druid, it's got Kinnan combos, it's got more Druid combos, it's got everything. So let's go over, how I built this and why I like this deck a lot. So the first thing is I have a Nadu deck in Modern, well, I had one, and it got banned. So I've got all these insect tokens lying around, and I needed a use for them, so I kind of wanted to just jam it into a 4-color shell. I think the first question you're asking is why don't you just play Nadu instead? Well, my answer to that is, have you seen the cards Nadu plays? Exactly, right? By adding white and black to it, we get Silence, we get Black Tutors, we got Meme Bet, all the good cards, right? We get all the good stuff without playing, whatever Simic cards Nadu has to play. And I feel like Nadu's kind of interesting in this shell because one of the issues of Tymna Thrasios is the perception that it's really slow compared to Grixis decks with red, right? With Grixis decks, you're Dockside, ad nauseum, boom, I win on turn 2 or whatever. The Dockside's pretty important, while Sans Red doesn't have Dockside, which makes the ad naus a little harder, I would say. You kind of play Dorks, and we know Dorks are kind of bad because Orcish Bowmaster's killing all the stuff. So I thought Nadu was interesting in this shell because also I've been playing Legacy a lot. A little bit, actually. I was coaching a Brian Koval, that guy. He's kind of good at Magic. And in my games, I ran into a 4-color or 3-color Nadu deck. And I'm this deck's pretty good, right? Nadu returns cards to you even if you deal with it. And one of the things I like about Nadu a lot, or I kind of hate it because I play against Nadu, is you can do all the things to get rid of Nadu, and all they'll have is a Shuko and some creatures in play. Then they'll be oh, here's another Nadu, you lose. There's just something really powerful about having just Nadu in your deck. So now that we kind of understand why we're doing this, let's take a look at this deck. As I said, TNT is a little slow. Sans Red's a little slow. So one of the things I really wanted to add into this shell is the breakfast line. And if you don't know what the breakfast line is, it's basically Cephalid, Illusionist with what's his face? This guy. Nomad and Core, you can't read the text here. Those two dudes together, if you target your Illusionist infinitely with Nomad and Core, you flip over your deck because you mill yourself, and then you get you use Dread Return to sacrifice 3 creatures to bring back a Thassa's Oracle. And to get the third body, usually you have a Narcomoeba in the library, so that when it gets milled to the ability, it comes into play, then you're good to go. Then you add the Hermit Druid as a way to just basically do the same thing. You play Hermit Druid, tap it when you can tap it, flip over the deck, do the same thing. Little harder because in that scenario you only have 1 creature, so 2 if you hit the Narcomoeba, but so you need a Dork or something, or maybe the Thrasios, a little bit of payoff. But the point is Hermit Druid I think is kind of underrated, especially from TNT. Way back when I was like a lot, I think the Druid decks, the Druid variants of TNT were like the strongest to me, because sometimes what will happen is like TNT will be like land, crypt, Hermit Druid, and then pass, and no one has creature removal. Next turn, boop, tap your Hermit Druid, flip over your deck, win the game. And no one can do anything about it. So I feel like that's like a pretty fast and good Wincon, and I have Lightning Greaves like somewhere here. Yeah, we have Lightning Greaves here, so maybe you can go like turn 1 Lightning Greaves, and then turn 2 Druid, equip, boom, win the game. And Lightning Greaves is like a good kind of zero equip for Nadu anyways, and also has other uses, but I guess we'll get to that later. But that was like one of the first kind of main draws to this deck that I like about Hermit Druid. It's just that this is our way of getting around the Sans red issue, is that we have Hermit Druid and other ways to just win really fast. Then the other thing is that after playing Rogthras a lot, and I recommend you to watch my Rogthras video because I think that deck's just really strong, I just kind of know how to play like Thrasios creature combo really well now. And one of the things I really like about it is Devoted Druid. I still like Devoted Druid, and where is it? This Machine God's Effigy. So you have Machine God Effigy, ETB, copy. It's not ETB. It's like it's as entering the battlefield. You have it copy Devoted Druid, then it can untap itself infinitely, make infinite blue and green, then win the game by drawing your whole deck with Thrasios. So I think that's a pretty strong combo because technically you can just win off 6 mana because Machine God's Effigy doesn't need the haste. So you could theoretically go Devoted Druid, Machine God's Effigy, win the game, right? If you have 7 mana, you can go Silence, blah, blah. Or you play Devoted Druid, wait a turn, top deck your Machine God's Effigy, and win, right? I just like Machine God's Effigy as well. Like, both those cards kind of have value. Like, if you play Devoted Druid, and this is like kind of the principle behind why I like Rogthras a lot, is like all the cards are kind of good. People can debate like what good is, but I just like being able to play a dork. And then like if you kill the dork, I don't care. You know, I got Nadu, I got whatever here. I'm gonna win with something else. So here you go, Devoted Druid. Then like if you don't have Devoted Druid, you have Machine God's Effigy. I've copied Talions with this stuff, right? Like, there's a lot of good targets with Machine God's Effigy. So point is that both of these cards are pretty valuable, and together I like that combo a lot. I executed quite a bit, so it's one of my preferred ways to win. And the new thing that came in from Bloomborough, this guy, Hazel's Brewmaster. So Hazel's Brewmaster combos are similarly to Machine God's Effigy, where when it ETBs or attacks, you exile 1 target card from the graveyard and make a food. Then food, you control all active abilities of cards you've exiled with the Brewmaster. So what you do is you play Devoted Druid, put all the -1/-1 counters on it, just get rid of it. Then play Brewmaster, exile Devoted Druid, and now your food can do the same thing as Machine God, where you can untap itself infinitely and make infinite mana. So 2 ways to combo with Devoted Druid. And theoretically, you could also use this to like exile a failed Hermit Druid. You know, there's things you can do with it. I don't think you will, but it's an option, right? So the point is just, I like Devoted Druid as a combo, and there's just multiple ways to get there. I think I'll go through the combos first, and then we'll like walk through kind of how this deck plays, just so you get a good sense of it. So those are 2 combos. I have Kinnan, Basalt. We all kind of know how this combo works. Again, both pieces are like generally good enough. Basalt Monolith in like a pinch is like a offsetting 3 mana for like a bigger play later. Kinnan, you know, just doubles all our mana, so it's like just useful anyways. I don't play Training Grounds here, and essentially like I don't like Training Grounds in general, but Kinnan's almost like Training Grounds in the sense that you double your mana, you get more Thrasios activations. So I think Kinnan's just like better. This is the thing to bring up. So we have those combos, then the Nadu combo. So Nadu over here has 2 ways to combo. First is this dude, as we saw below, Nomads and Core. You have both of these together. This is the Legacy variant, or the version that's played in Legacy a lot, where you redirect 1 damage to your creatures, not infinitely, but like, you know, trigger twice each time. Then you hit critical mass and win the game. For people who don't know how Nadu works, I guess I'll walk it through real quick. Essentially, you're targeting your creatures, flipping over lands ideally, and then what you want is something like a Scoot Swarm or a Spring Heart Nantuko here to make insects, so that eventually you Scoot Swarm makes copies of itself, Spring Heart Nantuko creates enough insects, or you draw enough cards and hit enough lands and, you know, win the game that way. It's important that your trigger to trigger Nadu is like a 0, right? So this is 0, and then Lightning Greaves does the same thing. Lightning Greaves at sorcery speed can equip a creature infinitely. You do need to alternate it because you know, can't target itself, so you need two creatures. I don't know if it matters, but whatever. So that's how Nadu works, and that's kind of like the primary way to win that win of Nadu. So the way this deck is built does have some Nadu cards because I kind of like them. Just from playing the modern variant. So like Scoot Swarm and Springheart Nantuko. People don't like Nantuko a lot. I think this card's like actually very powerful after playing it within modern. Just being able to bestow something like I don't know, a Gilded you can't do that. Bestow like Eternal Witness, bestow like an Endurance, bestow even like a Devoted Druid, right? Or I don't know, bestow an Esper Sentinel. Then afterwards, when you hit a land drop and pay 2, you get a copy of it. I think that's pretty strong, just for value. Or you can even do it for Spell Seeker. You can do it for Ranger Captain Eos. Just playing with this card in Modern gave me a lot of appreciation for how this card works. Scoot Swarm, I think you do need a little bit of cards like Scoot Swarm and stuff like that to just enable the Nadu win a little easier. So I don't mind it. I think it's probably one of the worst cards in the pile, but it's also like not that bad. And one thing I learned when I was goldfishing this deck a lot is that these cards actually make our Gaia's Cradle quite good. I think an issue with Gaia's Cradle decks is that you need a critical, you need quite a bit of creatures to like have it pay off. If you don't have enough creatures, your Gaia's Cradle's kind of bad. But here, because we are playing cards like this, your Gaia's Cradle actually can be quite powerful, even if it's literally just a Scoot Swarm and some lands and like an insect. Oh, one thing I forgot is we also play Eternal Witness, Snap, and Gaia's Cradle. So basically how that combo works, I never do it, but it's theoretically possible, is that you snap something, you play Eternal Witness, pick up the snap, you untap 2 lands, one of them's a Gaia's Cradle, one of them's a blue source, then you make infinite green that way. Then after you have infinite green, you can like start filtering, like making infinites of other colors too by untapping the other color, right? You always have to spend a blue, but if you have 2 blue sources, you start making infinite blue, right? Because you have infinite green. So the part where Gaia's Cradle is now bigger makes that combo a little easier to execute, because in any other deck you normally don't have creatures to hit the whole combo. I think it cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think maybe 6 mana. Yeah, you need 6 to go positive, so that means you need 6 creatures or like an Ancient Tomb, but that'll kill you too. So generally that's a lot. But here, a lot easier to do. So those are all the combos. I guess I'll just walk through some of the creatures, and then we will just do some trial hands to show how this deck works. Deathrite Shaman's good. Delia Halfling is good just to resolve your Nadu, resolve your legendary spells. Devoted Druid, we know why that's here. Dryadith Magistrate, staple, taking opponents off their commander quite good, especially now there's like Nadu's running around. I don't know, I don't compete anymore, but you tell me. I think that's quite good. Endurance is good just to shuffle your opponent's deck, but also shuffle our own deck. So there's also a whole like other win con here if your Thassa's Oracle gets exiled. I totally forgot, which is the modern variant. How it works is that essentially, how do I explain this quickly? You can find a document somewhere where you can assemble infinite mana with Nadu and activations and enough insects by sacrificing all of your lands to the graveyard, then endurance all of it back into your deck, and you sacrifice it through Sylvan Safekeeper. Then you keep activating Nadu, keep putting the lands back into play, keep getting insects, tapping them for mana, and then sacrificing with Sylvan Safekeeper, right? So then you demonstrate infinite mana. Then you can start picking up your Boseiju to like infinitely destroy all the non-basics until the end of time. Then you can use Odawara to bounce all their permanents. And I think you could do all this at instant speed as well. How do you do instant speed? I forgot now. The other important part is that you can you want to bestow the endurance with the Springheart Nantuko, so you can keep making copies of endurance to make infinite. I don't think this will ever come up because we play Thassa's Oracle naturally anyways, so just save yourself the time, and just do that. Also the mind, like the headspace, just save yourself your brain power. But we also play Finale of Devastation as another like infinite mana outlet, so whatever. I think I also have Cephalic Coliseum here too. Oh, that's a good thing. That's a good draw. Nope, I cut it. So never mind, ignore that. So what we're talking about. Oh, we were over here. Endurance. That's why it's here. If you really want to learn the combo, go Google how to do it. I forgot already. It doesn't matter anymore. It's banned. As for Sentinel's a staple, you turn to Witness for all the combos, or for the Gaia's Cradle combo, and also just being able to pick up stuff. I like Eternal Witness. I think it's quite good. Gilded Drake, especially good now because we're kind of parasitic, which is what I like about kind of these Thrasios decks, is that if you, a lot of the really popular decks like Kinnan, Nadu, being able to Gilded Drake their thing and you have the P is really funny. Or it's really good, right? Like you play Basalt Monolith, they play Kinnan, you Gilded Drake their thing. Well, I guess you want to sequence in a way where you Gilded Drake the Kinnan first so that no one counters your Gilded Drake except for the Kinnan player. Then you play Basalt Monolith, right? If you do the other way around, they'll know what you're doing. And you create that awkward like position where you're like, oh, if you let them take the Gilded Drake or you let them take the Kinnan, they're gonna win the game. Maybe we all draw and no one gets points, and we just spent 2 hours doing. I don't know what you guys do anymore. But Gilded Drake is good. Okay, Gilded Drake's good. Random Abolisher, Silence Effect, good. We know why this is here. I talked about this. Talked about Kinnan. Kutzil. Kutzil's is another Silence Effect, and also findable off of a Summoner's Pact. And also just, I don't know, think it's good. There's another reason why I'll talk about that later. Lotho is good. Mockingbird, this is the new clone effect. So, instead of playing Flesh Duplicate, that guy, we play this instead to copy whatever. So this is our version of a Dockside. We know why Nadu's here. Narcomi is part of this, the what is it? The breakfast thing. Noble Hierarch, kind of funny. You can make infinite copies of Noble Hierarch through the loop we talked about. Being able to, loop your deck. And then, maybe we don't have enough Springheart Nantukos to do it. Let me think. We get infinite mana. Then how do we... I guess we sacrifice... Maybe we can snap it? There's probably some line that you can assemble, but in the modern version of Nadu, also what happens is you can make infinite Noble Hierarchs, then attack with one thing, and it gets infinite Exalted. We kind of need to kill 3 other players, so you're not going to do this, but I don't know, maybe we'll come up. Polywog Prodigy, apparently this is like the new hotness. I can understand why. Just, I imagine draws you lots of cards, so I don't know. You could also bestow this guy, and then make copies of him. That seems good. Ranger Captain of Eos, we know why this is here. One of the best cards, blah, 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 the usual stuff. Important part, it can find the Encore, this guy, right? So another kind of thing that is important about this deck is that we're able to find the B really easily. So being able to be flexible that way is quite good. Scoot Swarm's here to support the Nadu stuff. Seaborn Muse, I think, is one of the best cards to play with Thrasios. It's a single card, not Wincon, but it will take over the game if it resolves and sticks around, right? I've gone back and forth on the whole, if you play Seaborn Muse and they Sword to Plowshares it, you just tap 5 mana or whatever and did nothing. Or you play Seedborn Muse and your opponents are all gonna target you, it's not worth it. I don't know. I think when you hit a certain point in the game where you're exhausted and you slam a Seedborn Muse that resolves, you're gonna win that game, right? Untap everything, keep activating Thrasios. I think single card just kind of package there is just unbeatable. There are a lot of games when I competed a little while ago with Rock Thras where I was like, man, if I had a Seedborn Muse here, I would win this. I would definitely win this. So, Seedborn Muse, I think it's good. Spellseeker is good. One thing is that Spellseeker can find Neoform. Neoform is important because you can Neoform Thrasios into your Nadu. So I think it's pretty good. You can also Neoform into Kutzil. Another reason why we have this. So that's why we have Neoform, but also Spellseeker can find our tutors and other things like that, or find a counterspell. I don't know, a card's good. Sylvan Safekeeper, a card I kept from the modern variant of Nadu lists, and I just really like how it plays. Also, just being able to do the infinite mana sack your lands thing is good. But also, if you noticed, a lot of our combos kind of revolve around having a creature in play, right? So if you have a Sylvan Safekeeper and a bunch of lands, or even a very few lands, depending on what the creature is, it's pretty hard to beat, right? Turn 1 Sylvan Safekeeper, either they have to respect it and get rid of it now, or it sticks around next turn you resolve like a Hermit Druid, and you have 2 lands, like, I don't know how many Swords of Plowshares you got, right? And then, play your land and then, like, still activate and win. You, I don't know, have your kin in, protect it, Basalt Monolith, GG, right? Like, there's just a lot of creatures you want to keep around. That Sylvan Safekeeper makes it difficult to beat, so I think it's important. Also findable off Ranger Captain, kind of important. We know why this guy's here. D-Tutor, Dread Returns, part of the breakfast thing. Finale is good. Good tutor, good infinite mana, blah, blah, blah. Imperial Seal, we know all these cards. Meme Bet, I play Meme Bet. I still see people playing TNT or other lists without Meme Bet. I don't know why you guys are not playing Meme Bet. Meme Bet is like the late game, I win, right? If this resolves, I win. Very hard to lose this. I've done it before. Forgot how. I've done it before. But still, just like, it's one of the best cards, right? It's just super duper strong when your opponents kind of have a lot of interaction, done a lot of things. You just take all of it for 3 mana and then just win the game. So please play a Meme Bet in your list. I've talked about Meme Bet for like the last 2 years. I don't know why some of you are still not playing Meme Bet. Just do it for like the love of God. Archdruid's Charm. I like this card a lot. I don't know if I like it here. I'm still thinking about it. Because we're 4 color, and one of the things I talk about is the land base in a bit. This is considerably harder to kind of like resolve with triple green than Rogthras. Rogthras is a little easier because Rogthras is nothing but find Gaia's Cradle.deck, right? This is what it does. We're kind of find Gaia's Cradle, but we're also trying to find a creature. So I think the flexibility of this card is good. And instant speed, it's like pretty good as well. So I like it. I think it can come out based on cast ability. Train of Vapor is good. We know why this here. Chord's kind of expensive, but we do actually have a lot of creatures, so I do like Chord. Just instant speed, being able to put a creature in, I think is very valuable. Psych Rift, I guess I can talk about Psych Rift a little bit. Psych Rift, we just want it because the Overload Psych Rift is also very strong. Same reason why Meme Bet's good. Your late stage, Psych Rift everything, win the game, very viable. Or certain times, like the board gets too gummed up and you don't have a Psych Rift, you don't have your way to like break out of it. So play a Psych Rift, please. E-Tutor. E-Tutor finds like our Basalt Monolith, our Machine Gods, whatever. Mystics, don't have to talk about it. Fluster, Fears, Force of Will, Mental Misstep, Mind Break Trap, all our good free counters. We have a Silence, we have a Snap, we have a Summoner's Pact. I think Summoner's Pact is good because a lot of our A+Bs are, green. And then the other thing is that even though we have stuff like Vamp Tutor, Demonic Tutor, this is a 0 cost, tutor effect. So I think being able to reduce the cost of like the tutor there is meaningful, right? If we're saying like Devoted Druid Machine God 6 mana wins the game, and you only have 6 mana, and even Demonic Tutor, that is a whole turn difference, right? Being able to just Summoner's Pact, go for it. Summoner's Pact, Kinnan, win, right? So I think Summoner's Pact is good. Maybe I just play too much Modern. Swan Song, we know why it's here. Source of Plowshares, Whirly Tutor finds all the creatures. Tainted Pact wins us the game with Thoracle. Vamp Tutor, I'm going to talk about it. Arcane Signet. I do have to talk about this a little bit because basically one of the issues with playing this deck, and we're probably going to run into it, is that the mana base is really rough. This deck is really choked on white mana. Because what we need to do is prioritize green and blue because of Thrasios. And just some of the like kind of early setup cards like Deathray Shaman, Delay Halfling, blah blah blah, that stuff, right? We need green. We need blue to interact. We also need black to help us tutor. It's definitely like in the kind of like lower edge of important colors, but we still need it, right? And then white oftentimes competes with the turn 1 play because we have Esper Sentinel. Where is it? We also sometimes want to be able to play like Drannith Magister on 2 or like just straight up Tymna on 3, right? Being able to go Thrasios into Tymna is like a little difficult. So I just want to share that also Grand Abolisher double white is like actually pretty hard to do sometimes. So with that said, knowing that our kind of color balance is a little difficult, Arcane Signet is really important in this deck. I know most decks play it, but this deck really needs it. I think Grixis Plus decks obviously wants it, but your mana like constraints are a little easier because you're not really like, if you're blue farm, you're not really blue, like you're not really four color. You're like Grixis. Sometimes you're like playing the white. So Arcane Signet is important. What else? We know all this stuff. All this stuff's good. Mox Amber's good because we have Thrasios. We have all Legends, Relic of Legends. So on that note of Legends, I think Relic of Legends after playing Rock Thras is just such a good card. We have a lot of Legends. Another reason why Kutzil's in there. Just being able to have her mana is good anyways. So I like Relic of Legends. Even if we don't have a Rograk here, I still like it. So I play it. The One Ring, super good card. That's why we have it. Wishclaw, another tutor. We have our blue enchantments that may or may not be in the format. We'll see what happens. And then our lands. So our lands, I don't think there's anything special. We have a Dryad Arbor. Important because sometimes we need a Nadu activation. So we find the Dryad Arbor to target it. Then what else? We have a Shifting Woodland. So again, my modern deck is kind of like being represented here. Shifting Woodland's good just because if someone kills your Nadu, someone kills your Hermit Druid, you got Delirium, you activate, copy, boom, win the game. I think Shifting Woodland's quite strong. Talon Gate, I know this card's pretty good. Just being able to activate it to phase out a Grand Abolisher and let your opponents do things or like phase out some sort of stacks thing is pretty good. What this land base is missing is one of the Surveil lands, which I need to find a slot for, but you know, I'll find it later. That's what I'd do. I would add one Surveil land in here. I would also, in one of the versions I had a Triome, and I think a Triome because of what I talked about with the white and the green being kind of in contention for turn 1 mana, I might actually still play Spara's Headquarters here, but we'll see. This deck has 29 lands, which I guess nowadays is like greedy in the sense like it's too many lands because y'all are playing 26. I don't know. But because of the Nadu deck, we do want to be able to flip over lands. It's quite important to be able to do that. So you want to make sure you have some amount of lands to do that. So that's basically the deck. The principle behind it, I guess I should explain this earlier. It's just like we have a lot of ways to win. We're just going to jam all the cards and we're not here to play control. We're here to win the game. So let's see how we play this deck. Whoop, do that. Oh, you can't see my hand. Be right back. All right, this is way better. I haven't done this in a bit. Okay, let's see what our hand is like. First 7. This is not good. Like turn 1, Thrasios doesn't do anything. This is reactive. We don't get here soon enough. Theoretically, turn 2 Charm for Cradle. I don't know. There's like no plan here, right? We always have the safety plan or the safety net of mulling to 4, hit a Mr. Remora, right? So we have to be better than this. Let's look at this one. We have Vamp Tutor. The land doesn't support it. Basalt Monolith. Nope. 1 lander. Ooh, another 1 lander. All right, this is a 6. We'll go to 5. What are these hands? Okay. A 5. So here I'm thinking like, you know, theoretically you just go this, like consult, like find your consultation. We have all the 1, 2, 3, 4. We have all the lands for it. Let's play it safer. We'll have a Surveil land. No. We're not gonna turn 2. We're gonna do this turn 3. So we do have 1 crack at a Surveil land, and we want the Surveil land to hit the whatever. So I think it doesn't matter. We want to do it this way. So this is a turn 3 win. Unlikely for it to happen because like it's pretty passive. You like really at the mercy of your opponents just not having it, and if your opponents like are just kind of holding everything up and not do anything, you're not in a good spot depending on what you draw. I mean, this tutor can also just go for Remora on turn 2 and try and draw our way into winning. I don't think we're going to get a better 5 or 4, right? This is a 5. Yeah, so this, I guess we have to keep it. That's like the power of Thassa's Oracle Console, is that no matter what, you're kind of safe that way. Grand Abolisher. Ooh, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. We have double blue, and then the black here. So this can find scrubland for double white next turn. So we lead with Rotting Catacombs, crack it, find scrubland. If you are ever playing an opponent like this, who finds the scrubland first, I think you're pretty safe to assume they have a Grand Abolisher. I don't know if you do hand reading. It's part of what I do in coaching. Just always think about why an opponent would do that, right? Why would an opponent find this over a green source, right? If I don't find a green source, specifically here, you can assume I don't have a dork, right? I didn't go turn 1 dork. Maybe I still do. You can't rule it out specifically, but interesting, right? Like something that's thinkable, or like something within the range of what could happen. Okay, we're doing a console. I'm just gonna do console. The way we drew because of the abolisher just pushes us into doing the thing. So we'll draw this, we'll play this. Our 2 options is Thrasios or Abolisher, and if you play Abolisher, you know, it's super heads up, right? People are gonna be like, oh no, what happens if they win the game? And you can then politic be like, oh no, this is just casual. Like, I don't have anything going on, you know, like whatever. Your other option is you play Thrasios and then be like, see, this deck kind of sucks, right? Thrasios, Passios. But you have to play the Grand Abolisher at some point, so I think your best crack at it is just playing Abolisher and being like, I don't have anything, dude. This is what this vamp tutored for a land. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how the politics goes these days. Draw, boom, and then we win the game, right? I did like probably not. Probably this thing gets happen and you're still priced into like, whoop, I'm gonna try it and then fail. Well, I guess you let the console it depends what your hand is, but I think you let the console resolve counter the Thoracle, so then everything is gonzo. Well, no, I'm sorry. Usually what we do is we play this, let the thing resolve, do that, this gets countered, and then this gets countered. I haven't played cEDH in so long. And then we have the, whatever. It just fails. That's all that matters. This gets countered. This happens. And then we like look. And then this sucks. Well, I don't know. I guess next turn Thrasios activation, double spell is like better. And then we draw this next turn. It sucks though. We're playing as if does eBay tapped? No, it doesn't. I picked the other thing. We're playing as if everything failed. I just want to see what happens. Then draw. It's bad. So here, one thing I want to know is choosing when to activate Thrasios is kind of important. Here we have no other play to make after we activate Thrasios because we're tapped out, so we don't do it here. If we had no lands, it doesn't matter. If we're trying to hit like a rock, it doesn't matter, so we just don't do it now. Sometimes it does matter. If we have extra mana remaining, we might be able to hit a dork, we might be able to hit a source, like a permanent, then we want to activate it main phase, because there's nothing, we're not bluffing anything here. So then end step, activate, ooh, Machine God's Effigy, alright, we're sort of in business. Draw, play this. Yeah, I'll activate, it doesn't matter. Boop. Mana Crypt, ooh, Mana Crypt. I guess you don't play it. There's no point playing it. And then if we had a land, we can crack it. But whatever. I just want to see what we have. I think we just lose this game. Yeah, pretty sure we lose this one. If it all fails, just tapped. I just want to see one more card. Yeah, okay. All right, next one. First 7. Ooh, I like this one. Oh, I really like this one. Yeah, we just have Nadu. We have Lightning Greaves. We have a Soul Ring, and we have a Swan Song. Turn 1. Find this is gonna find us a Bayou Odawara next turn, Thrasios. Well, first of all, just turn 1 Bayou, Soul Ring Greaves, turn 2 Nadu, and start activating once, because we can't equip it somewhere else. So then the next best thing is to play Thrasios, have the creature up. So then the turn afterwards, we might have an extra land to Swan Song, whatever they do to the Nadu. So, I mean, it's a keep no matter what. But before we keep, we try and think through what our first couple of turns is free coaching right now. Think through what our plan is, right? So that's how we do it. Ooh, yeah, Vamp Tutor, let's go. This deck's so good. So here's an awkward thing, right? If we Vamp Tutor for our, what is it? if we don't have this and we vamp tutor for, what's it called? The white guy, the little Encore guy, we don't have the white to play for it. So just highlighting how the white matters. I mean, here we just go Soul Ring Greaves, as I said. Then we go to Upkeep, and here's the interesting part. We have two ways to play this. The Vamp Tutor represents a lot of things. The Vamp Tutor could also just be a Mystic Remora, and you play this and chill and just draw a bunch of cards. And then when it's your time is here, you can slam down the Nadu and then like go for it, right? That's one way to play it. I think it depends how your opponents are playing. I think if everyone is really like not doing anything and you're sensing the games go a little longer, I think the Remora is the way to go. Just because like at this point, we're not doing anything for like the next 2 or 3 turns, even if we shoot for the Nadu. If we don't Vamp Tutor, right, we go Thrasios, then next turn Nadu and try and flip, but we don't have Springheart Nantuko, and we don't have like that many lands. So I think the better option, the safer option, is just find the Fishy. And you're like, oh man, I got nothing going on. This hand was really just Soul Ring Lightning Greaves, you know? What am I doing? I'm just playing a dumb Thrasios deck, you know, that's as good as it gets. And we'll play this and hope it resolves. If it doesn't, we're sad. Not that sad, we can still default to this. It's also because we have a Soul Ring to pay for this stuff, it's like pretty good. Usually what I do for Mr. Gamora is I pretend I draw 1 or 2 cards, so here let's say we'll draw 2. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. Okay. We're gonna pay for this. If it wasn't, if we didn't draw this, I would have rethought what we tap, because maybe the Soul Ring's better to tap to keep our colored mana to go Thrasios, but now that we have a Ristic Study, that might or might not be in the format, because this might not be in the format. We'll see. Draw this. I mean, if we're really greedy, if we really want to put a target on our heads, we just go Ristic Study here. Yeah, I don't think this is resolving. This gotta go. We draw an extra card. Okay, and then we'll draw 2 cards. Hopefully we don't die yet. And then let's think through it. If we pay, what do? We pay. I think we pay no matter what. We pay Relic, then Thrasios, or we have a Thrasios. What's a better use for mana? Thrasios, leave up Swan Song. I like that, because at this point it's like a little scary. So we just go pay Thrasios. I think I drew a card. I forgot to draw a card. And then, you know, at least we have represent a little bit of interaction. If things like go south, we can also just equip this right now. Then pass the turn. I'm just gonna let's go. It's hard to like imagine, right? Like let's say we drew 3 cards, right? I'm gonna stop. So here I'm gonna go Nadu in 1 colorless. Let's activate Nadu. So if you haven't done Nadu before, what people do is you set up your creatures in piles, 0 activation, 1 activation, 2 activation. Just that's how you track it. Our Lightning Greaves is on the Thrasios, so let's move Nadu here, trigger, Devoted Druid in hand. We have 1 floating, which is important. Then we have to go Thrasios because it can't equip itself. Esper Sentinel, this, Consult, this. Okay, we drew 4 cards. Now we have a land drop, we have a colorless floating, and the reason why I did not play my land is I want to see if I flip over a Nantuko or something. Or sometimes a land drop matters, so I wanted to see what I hit first, just to get that information. Move a colorless floating, so what we could do, one option, is that we play the Relic of Legends here, with a land, colorless thing, and now we represent 3 mana. With 3 mana, then we can play Sentinel, and then Devoted Druid and keep going, but that taps us out. It doesn't really do anything. I prefer we can also Misty for Dryad Arbor, and then get a couple more activations. I would, actually the more I think about it, I think Relic is better, just to get more colored sources, because that's what we're getting kind of choked on here. So let's do that, actually. Let's go Waterlogged Grove instead. I'll take a damage. If I was doing actually doesn't matter. I'll have a Sylvan Safekeeper later. So we tap everything for a Relic. Relic for Sentinel. 1, flip. Target this. Target Sentinel to flip. Alright. Now this is interesting. Oh, I'm so silly. Why do we even do that? We can just I'm so silly. We just go with that local console, you know? With three mana right there. I mean, they're probably gonna counter it, but whatever. I guess if you really want to be safe, is there a safer way to do this? If I go Ranger Captain Crack? No, Ranger Captain equip. You have to hit 3 lands, and it has to be those colors. I will rather just do that, and then stop with all these cards in hand. Okay, so you kind of get how that works. We'll do one more. This one, interesting. You could play Thrasios, get a Mox Amber, but nothing happens. You can't draw cards. Bye. This one, turn 1 Sentinel, turn 2 Dranith. We have a tutor. We have this. This is a keeper. Easy keep. We have Sylvan Safekeeper as well. I think we go Sentinel first. Just to draw cards. We'll draw one. One to be conservative. Draw this. The only time we want to be conservative. Jokes. Soul Ring, I think, depends on the pod. If there's a Kitten and somehow it's not in play yet, definitely Dranith. If there's a Nadu, same thing, definitely Dranith. So I guess, presumably, we're always going to go Dranith here. I'm trying to think if there's any reason why we go Sylvan Safekeeper Dranith. I don't think so. Because we probably want to protect the Dranith, but not at the cost of us going down a land. So I think this is still the better play. And then draw. Alright. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. 5 mana to play around with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how I would do it. Do we have enough green? We can't do all this. Wait, we can. No, we cannot. Because this finds white. Yeah, we don't have enough. So this is going to find us Nadu, for sure. Let's just do that first. We have Nadu. Oh, no. I'm so silly. We have another way to win the game. We have the Cephalid guy. Duh. We get the Cephalid guy floating 1 colorless. We just play this and then play this. Oh, we could just win the game. Yeah, I always forget. Yeah, we always forget. Just trying to be cute instead of just, winning the game. Then we flip over the deck, Dread Return the Thaz Oracle, and win the game. Okay, that was a little quick. We'll try one more. This one, draw, mana. Yeah. Yep. Keep this all day, every day. All day, chef. I'm trying to think. Do we do Lotho first? I think we do Lotho first. I want, what is the blue Underground Sea? Underground Sea. Play Lotho. Ideally make a treasure, maybe. Oh, that's good. Good cards are good. Shocker. 1, and then 2, trigger, treasure, crack this, boom, for us 1 ring. If you're a wuss, you cannot play this and just go Polywog and hold up a Fluster, but I'm just gonna jam the ring, whatever. We'll draw a card. And then go, draw 1, 2, play this, 1, 2, play this, trigger, get a treasure, 1, 2, 3, treasure, Kutzils, put everything on the board, If they have it, they have it, we don't care. We're drawing more cards afterwards with the 1 ring, just slam everything on the battlefield. Then draw, then we'll go 1, 2, 3. We have a Science Effect. We gotta be able to win the game here, right? No, we can't. Feels like we could, but we can't. What a shame. Archmage's Charm. There's no single card Wincons. Boo! I guess we just play Thrasios. Play Thrasios, and then hold up all the interaction, and then end step, activate, bottom, draw. Alright, next turn we gotta win. Next turn we are gonna win. Yeah, we're gonna win no matter what, because at this point, we have Spellseeker, right? 3, if I go with Spellseeker for Neoform, 1, 2, 3, Basalt Monolith. Or if we want to do Neoform, get this for a Nadu, and then we go 1, 2, 3, find. Does it put into play? If it's a land. I'm trying to figure out all the ways we can win. Because we can also just go like 1, 2, 3 for Cradle. Cradle goes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cradle 5. We have Snap. That would be 6. And then Spellseeker. That wins too. So if I want to show you the whole thing, it's 1, 2, 3 for this, for Gaia's Cradle. Cradle, this taps for 5 currently. Spell number 1, spell number 2, make a treasure. Tap this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whirly Tutor once. Find. We're assuming I don't have Basalt, right? I'm just trying to show you all the ways we can win. I'm just trying to be egregious here. Get that. Gaia's Cradle, we have 4 green floating. Crack this, play Eternal Witness, pick this back up. We have 2 green floating because we used the pedal. Then we crack this. We just tap this for a blue. Snap this back to the hand. This goes to the graveyard. Untap Cradle, untap this. Boom, boom. Eternal Witness, pick up the snap. Blah, 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 blah. We go infinite, draw infinite cards. Yeah, I kind of do one more because I like this deck and it's fun. This hand is not good. Wait a second. Wait. These 2 combo, but it's a little slow. Is it? Is it? Is it? Yeah, it's a little slow. See, this is why we mulligan, because we can just have better hands. This hand's kind of nutty. I think this is like the worst card. We eat this. We eat this. Play this. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's the way to go. Draw. Do this. Eat this. Draw a card. Play this. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Thrasios, Amber, Remora, and then we draw like 2 cards because no one respects it. And then we pay the cost, draw a card, play the land, and then we go Soul Ring into the Hermit Druid, and then hope no one has interaction. And if they do, you're like, Swan Song, please, kind sir, can I keep my Hermit Druid? And then next turn you flip over your deck and Dread Return and win the game. See? Hermit Druid. What happens when no one has interaction? Alright. So that's the whole deck. I hope you kind of liked how I showed it off, how I played it. Is it better than Blue Farm or Nadu or Kinnin or whatever the internet says is the top 5 decks? Who knows? And honestly, who cares? If you like creature combo and this interests you, just play it, right? That's what I would do. And like, okay. I think if your goal is to be like, oh, this is like a little higher, whoopsie. I think if your goal is to be the best cEDH player in the world for some reason, right? You want the world to know like you're gonna close all the tournaments, play Rogsai. You know, if you need that cash, you need that trophy, play Rogsai. If your goal is just to like have a good time and play something strong and interact, play dumb stuff like this, right? Because I think this deck is neat. This is like a creature combo deck. It's got a lot of different lines for you to flex into. It's not like Rogthras in the sense that like Rogthras you kind of have to be really creative sometimes. This you still have Thassa's Oracle Console. You still have like Black Tutors, right? You still have like a lot of like kind of conventional ways to win, but sometimes you can get a little weird with it. So I think this deck's super neat, and if you like this style of deck, just play it. I think in cEDH especially, these kind of decks, like if you're good enough, you'll win X% of games, right? I think deck composition matters to like a certain degree. You need the deck to be like good enough, obviously, to be of meta, but the rest of it like is all piloting. Right, I think in like 1v1, your deck composition matters a little bit more because there's no room to like escape. I think like it's you and your opponent. If your deck is like 15% worse, you will feel that 15% in the card slots. Variance will save you, piloting will save you, but your deck needs to be tight. In cEDH, your 100 card singleton deck, like if it's like a deviation of like maybe 5-10% from like whatever fictional like I don't know ideal like state is for that deck, I'm very certain your piloting can like overcome that, right? There's just so many different like so much more equity on the table in terms of like how you politic, how you sequence, you know, how your opponents draw and all that stuff. It doesn't matter. If you are intuitively better with your deck, play that deck and have a good time, because you'll perform better than trying to like bash your head playing whatever is like the good deck of the week. Unless that's what you want to do, then do that, you know? If you want to win some points or whatever, play Rog's High, play Blue Farm. If you want to have a good time, play this. That's the video. Let me know what you think. You can call out all the cards that I didn't put in this. There isn't like a good reason. Like, I think there's no culling ritual here. I think that would be one thing people call out. And I'll be like, where are you going to sink that mana into? Your Peer into the Abyss that doesn't exist? I don't know, dude. I guess good at wiping everything and you can like sink it into a Thrasios and activate it. I think the deck composition, like the other combos take too many slots. No Bowmaster. Bowmaster's reactive. Very good card. Very good card. But currently no slots for it. Opposition Agent, same thing. Talion's too grindy. I'm not here to grind, here to win the game, right? You saw every single hand I kept was not because, oh, I can tap and activate my Thrasios. I can like interact the board. I'm here to win the game. Talion doesn't win the game. All these cards don't like say win the freaking game. They're just like, they just mess with my opponents. I'm not in the business of that. I'm in the business of winning the game. Bill's cool though, but not that good. Dorothy Voidwalker, I would rate a little higher than these because Dorothy Voidwalker actually helps you win the game by taking away tutors that you can use. Crop Rot, I guess I'm just going through my considering pile now. Crop Rot I think is like better in the other decks that really care about Gaea's Cradle. We don't care about Gaea's Cradle that much, so you know, I'm not playing that. Force of Neg, I'm just not big on Force of Neg, so whatever. Veil of Summer, we have silence effects in forms of creatures. I've just been burned by Veil of Summer so many times. I'm not playing Veil of Summer. I'd rather play Defense Grid. Training Grounds, I've talked about why that card is not good. So, okay. That's the considering pile. Let me know what you think, you know? Play the deck. Let me know how it goes. I think it's cool. I think it's fun. I haven't been interested in like a deck in a while, and this one's it. So, am I going to compete with this? Nah. Am I going to play with it somewhere? Maybe. You know? Maybe. It's good to see you guys again. Rebel AI still exists in the internets, and we will be doing some more cEDH videos at some point in the future. Bye.